guys, I wanted to make this video sooner, but I've been really busy with stuff. So I just wanted to show you a couple of the maple trees in our driveway here. They're very, very old. I would say 100 and something years old to say the least. So these are our maple buckets that I installed this year. I put 12 buckets, 3 on each of these trees here, and then there's another tree out back of the same size with 3 on it. And I've been boiling the sap since the beginning of March now. It started getting nicer in March. Cold nights, warm days, so the sap's flowing really good. And so this is my trees here, and they're putting out like almost a full bucket a day. A couple of these buckets got a little contaminated from the rain we had the other day. So that's the maple trees there. And I'm going to show you my setup for boiling the sap too. So this is the setup I'm using for boiling the sap this year. I'm burning pallets mostly, some hardwood, but a lot of the pallets I get for free. And you just want to make sure that they're not like chemically treated. So you want to make sure that they're heat treated, and they say right on them what they are. You know, they're stamped HT, or they're stamped, I think it's BT is like the toxic chemical one. And they also do pressure treated and stuff like that. You don't want to burn that even if it's outside. So this is the stove that I actually was trying to sell online, but no one would buy it. And it wasn't bad looking until now. And I guess a lot of people aren't interested in an old stove like this, since you can't install it in most places if you're putting in like a new chimney or whatnot. So I just have a simple little flue, and I put 2 stainless steel buckets on the top of here, and I just boil it, and it boils pretty good, you know. And it's free wood, so it's not like I'm paying for the wood. And then what I do is I take it off and I put it inside the house, and I boil it on the stovetop when it gets thin, a lot thicker, you know. So this is a sap from outside from the tree today, and this is some stuff that I've been boiling down for a couple of days. This stuff on the right is just about ready to be in its final boil, and then ready to be bottled. So I'm going to try to make a video on how to do that. But basically, it's 40 to 50 gallons to get 1 gallon of maple sap, to get 1 gallon of maple syrup, depending upon what type of tree you have and the sugar content. But you can tell the massive difference in color between the two of these, as well as the thickness and just the taste. If you go and you taste the regular sap, it has a bit of a flavor to it. Some people might not even notice the flavor, but I do. And then if you taste the syrup, it's just pure sweetness. And that's why if you make candy out of it, it's so sweet. It's too sweet, I think, for candy. So that's the difference there. And I'll show you some final bottle as well of what the actual color is going to look like. From the beginning of the season to the end of the season, the color varies. It's a clearer color at first, and then it turns into a medium grade and then a dark grade. I don't know all the details on grading, but the beginning stuff is my favorite flavored stuff, and they used to actually sell it as a lot more expensive than the other grades. So here's some sap just having a rolling bubble right now, you know, boiling on the stove, and it's just going to keep getting lower and lower in the bucket as more water is evaporated out. I've got 2 of these, like 30, I think they're 30 quart stainless steel pails. One's actually a little bigger than the other one. I think one's at 20, 25, one's at 30. But they're kind of expensive. One of them was $30, I think. So depending on how often you want to use one of these stock pots, you might not want to go this route. I actually had a pan that was supposed to be made up, but it's not made up in time. So this year I'm just using these. Maybe next year we'll use a different setup. You definitely want to have a better setup than just boiling on a stove outdoors, because a lot of the heat is wasted up the chimney. A lot of people have been doing you take like some cinder blocks, you put them across so that they have two walls, and then you put a grate on top and you boil it so that the flames are actually touching the buckets. So that'd be good use of the wood. Alright, so I'll show you this. This is the... I know it's kind of hard to see the color, but this stuff here is a little bit darker. This stuff's light. I just put this in the pan, so this is going to start bubbling up. So, you see that's clear. This is stuff that I had boiling yesterday on the stove, so it's going to get a lot better. So I actually make this maple syrup and I give it to people for gifts. Makes great little gifts. Depending on how much you like the person, you can either give them a small little jug, or you can give them a big jug. And then there's also, you know, larger ones all the way up to a gallon. There's probably even larger ones that they sell. And basically, you just fill these bottles with the boiling sap once it's up to the temperature that it needs to be at. You put a lid on it and you turn it upside down and then you let it cool. And then that makes it so it keeps, and it'll actually keep forever. The only thing that happens is sometimes it'll get crystallization on the bottom of it, but the syrup is still good to use. Alright, I'm running out of film on the camera, so I'm going to stop it here, and I'll make another upload at another later point.